каблучок стучит, и Санечка бежит. Под каблучком он плотненько.
Wow. Just wow. Greetings and salutations, everyone. My name is MiAh the King, and today we are looking at a little game that just came out a day ago on Steam. It's called Valakas Stories, or Valakas Story, and wow, I thought I had seen my fair share of bad games in my day, but this one was so bad that I literally laughed out several times. I couldn't even play the game for half an hour before I was just done. This is going to be a short little first impressions video, because this game is absolute garbage, and honestly, if you need me to tell you that, then you also need me to tell you that the sky is blue, The Witcher 3 is amazing, and water keeps you alive, but can also kill you in the most horrible way possible. Any other obvious facts you want me to tell you? Okay, sure, how about this then? When you're making a game that looks Russian-based, I'm assuming here because I know nothing about that region of the planet, and you use the Russian language in the game, but then use English translations, you need to have your translations on point. This game's grammar and English translation are both terrible. When you're making a game like this, make sure you include a tutorial. When it's your first time making a game, or you don't have the money, then stick to something smaller and simpler and more unique. If you try to do a game like this with no budget and no skill, then you just get a stinking pile of laughable crap. Now, I don't know if this game is supposed to be that bad on purpose or not. Is it supposed to be a parody game, or is it supposed to be one of those games that you laugh at for just how bad it is? Because if that's the case, then this developer nailed that right on the head. I thought it was supposed to be this bad, that it was designed this way on purpose. So I made sure that I laughed, I enjoyed it, I had a good old time. I was even thinking about giving this a positive video, a positive review, and praise its comedy and its hilarity. However, when I got into the combat without tutorial, without guidance, without proper translation, and forced up against seemingly impossible odds, I realized that this was most likely not a game meant to be funny. It was just a really bad game that I found myself laughing at because it was so bad. Now don't get me wrong, I did enjoy a good laugh frequently, as if I haven't made that clear enough. But when the combat system is so bad and confusing, and then you keep dying over and over with no autosave or any kind of respawn system, by the way, then I find myself doing the same thing over and over again, and the game's supposed comedy starts to fade, and now I'm just playing a boring, crappy game. When I got to that point, I promptly ended my recording and requested a refund from Steam. This game isn't even worth the $2 I spent on it. This game shouldn't even be free. This game shouldn't even exist. But as I do with all these videos, let's go over the good and the bad just so I'm being fair. The good! The game is actually really smooth. Surprisingly, it runs really well. It had no problems starting up, no glitches, no crashes, nothing like that. And everything blended together rather well too, and the music used in the game, not bad. Now we can get on to the rest of it. The game's translation is terrible, I said that. Its grammar is terrible, I said that. If you can't tell from the video, its graphics are terrible. Its combat system is stolen straight out of Yakuza 0. Its story is lame and incomprehensible. Its realistic sounds are absolute garbage. It has no autosave feature and no respawn mechanic. Its quote-unquote skills are indistinguishable and confusing. And from what I can tell, its voice acting is so bad I think I'd rather chop my ears off than listen to a single minute more of it. Half the time it sounded like the voice actors were just repeating the same lines over and over again while the English translation was saying a complete statement.
Конечно, хуй ты быкуешь-то, ёпта. Хуй нахуй тебе эта машина нужна, блядь. Ты все равно дома сидишь неделями, ёпта. Дай пацанам запчасти, ёпта. Хуй ты, еба. Ты, еба, не ведись, ты дай запчасти, ёпта. Ты пизды получишь в натуре, еба.
Мне похуй, я спортсмен, я ебашу сильно, ты понял, лох ебали? Лучше, сука, нахуй рот не открываю, блядь, понапрасну, блядь, и уебу нахуй охуеешь, дрянь.
Which is funny, because it reminds me of the old KOTOR games. Remember how when you're talking to aliens and they repeat the same alien language over and over again? And that was based on the technological limit at the time, but you didn't mind because it was still so cool. It feels like that here, only not good. Now, I don't speak Russian. Again, I'm assuming this is Russian-based, and if not, then I do apologize for whatever language this is. And I could be wrong, but it does just sound like they're repeating themselves over and over again. So if someone could translate, or maybe not could translate, if someone can already understand, I don't want someone to learn how to translate and whatever. But if someone can understand this, then do me a favor and in the comments below, just let me know if what they're saying matches their words. Maybe I was just hearing things, Or maybe they really are just repeating the same thing over and over again, thinking they can fool us. Honestly, I don't know what to make of this game. I mean, if the combat had been ridiculously explosive and goofy and energetic and fun, if it hadn't been annoying, glitchy, confusing, and too damn difficult, then maybe I could have actually played this game for the comedic factor alone. Because honestly, I feel like this game was meant to be a comedy game, and it would have worked if they had just gotten a couple things right. I mean, the sound effects, which there aren't any during the combat, by the way, and the combat itself. If they had gotten those two things right, then I could have found myself both hating and loving this game. Hating it because it's crap, but loving it because it's hilarious. But honestly, it's nothing more than a jumbled mess. Do I even need to mention the terrible clipping, or any of the other major problems I found? Bodies just jumping 1,000 feet into the air, or the gravity-devoid physics? I mean, come on guys, it's not even worth its $2 asking price. It's not even worth my time, and I'm wondering why I'm still here dealing with this when I could move on to something more challenging. That game, Day of Dragons, is supposed to be releasing today, and it's late, but I'm sitting here waiting for it so I can get a video put out for you guys. But, anyway, simply put, don't buy this. Don't waste your $2. Instead, just go get a candy bar. You'll get much more enjoyment from that than you will from this. I'm going to let this play a little bit longer, so I'm just going to talk about nonsense so you guys can see this crap. I don't even know where the video is because I record my voice while reading from my script before I place the clips in, and then I designate the clips appropriately so they match up with what I'm saying more or less, and sometimes I, cut and clip and edit and all that other crap that I do. But, yeah, this game is just... And I came into the game trying to give it a fair shot. I was like, it's $2, it's made by one guy, it seems pretty ambitious, I'm kind of interested in this, let's see if he got anything. And, it's right off the bat, when you look at the terrible facial physics, the clipping of the cell phone through the hand, the awkward movement around the house, the way they shout their lines, and it seems like they're right next to the microphone when they're doing it.
Садись, ведро мое, садись тут.
Воняет.
Садись у него.
Воняет.
Садись, плевать.
Зачем в ведро какать?
Садись.
Нет,
Садись.
не буду какать в ведро.
And those wing beats from the crow, it sounds like an army is marching. Like a giant footstep every time it flaps its wing from like 1,000 soldiers. And the music, although it's nice and pleasant, it's weird because I wish it had a goofier music. It would have made more sense. It made me feel more like this was a game based on a comedy rather than its soothing, melodic tones. Is that the right word? But the combat itself, I mean, I could understand if they were going for comedy and they wanted to make the combat challenging, but at least give me a tutorial, or at least give me fewer enemies, or give me some pop-up bubbles, give me something to let me know how I'm supposed to fight. The only way you're supposed to figure out how to use any of the buttons is if you go into the escape menu. And it tells you the buttons there, but it didn't tell me what the respawn button was, if there even is a respawn button. In this video, which you probably won't see the whole thing because my little video that I'm making here isn't going to be as long as the recording I took, but there were several times where I died and I just lay there with that weird death symbol on the screen. There's no dialogue. There's no text to tell me that I died or what button to push. And I just end up laying there, and at one point in the video I'm literally just sitting there for a solid 2-3 minutes waiting to see if it was going to progress. I even got up and went and used the bathroom and came back. I was still just laying there, and I had to reload, and since there's no autosave, I have to go back to that table, that well, whatever it is. I don't know why I said table. It's clearly a wishing well. Anyway, I have to go back to that and save every time I fight somebody, because if I die, I load right back up to there. It's just poorly programmed. It's poorly designed, poorly programmed, and I'm not getting emotional. I'm not. I'm merely frustrated at myself as I'm trying to recollect everything that I did in this video and try to put it down into words in a logical and cohesive format. So that's where the frustration's coming from, not from the game. I don't want people out there saying that I'm getting too emotional again, because I'm not. I'm just trying to remember everything bad about this piece of crap. But anyway, if I didn't say it enough, don't buy this. Don't even think about it. Just pretend this never happened. Just pretend this video never happened, that this game never existed, and I'm going to continue to believe in indie developers giving us magic rather than indie developers giving us this. Alright? So, thanks a bunch for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you on my next adventure. Until then, I bid you farewell.